right, Dick Myers. I want to show you what's going on with your baby girl, Venus. We are going through yard work. I'm getting her to be force fetch, sort of really force fetch precursor. And this dog, I swear, watch this. I'm gonna stand here talking on thing. And if I give her, no, she didn't run all the way there. If I give her like 30 seconds of free time, she is in the pond. This dog is in love with the water, which is great. That's a wonderful, wonderful trait. So I'm very happy with her about that. If we take them out to air, she's going in the water. But anyway, so we're starting off with kind of the same stuff we've been doing. Ready to go get a fun one? And this is our fun retrieves are all about just having fun. Don't even care if she comes straight back. I don't care if she picks it up. Hey girl, come on baby. Hey, yeah. Woo. Where's your toy? Where's your toy? Huh? Point, it doesn't matter if she picks it up and brings it straight to me or not. Not even worried about it. I just want her to be in a good mood. Come on, Venus. There we go, baby. There we go. That's a good girl. So lots of praise. She can't do anything wrong type stuff. You know, no polish, none of that. We're just trying to make sure that this doesn't become too much of a grind and we don't burn out. Okay, so you'll notice as soon as I put the leash on Venus, she immediately goes to the heel position and sits down. She knows what we're doing. Very intelligent dog. She seems to be very happy to work with me. I don't think Venus is ever going to be a dog who's going to be difficult. I don't think she's going to blow you off, or just be difficult. That's not her. There's the scratchies. Oh, scratchies. Yeah. She's a good girl. Anyway, so last time when we talked about force fetch, we talked about holding my hand. And today, I'm going to show you the next step. Now, with you guys, I'm kind of giving you a little bit more of a instructional vibe because I assume that you're going to want to start doing some of this on your own at some point. Now, I know you kind of want to see how the sausage is made, so to speak. So I want you to kind of see everything that I'm doing. So today is probably going to be a little bit raw. It's not going to be real polished, and that's by design, because today is truly the first time she is going to see what we have done. And usually dogs freak out whenever anything is the very first time. So let's first off kind of focus on what we've been doing. Yes, she's a kisser. So what we've been doing is holding my hand and then carrying my hand, right? So what we do with that is I take my left hand and hold her collar, right? I take my right hand and place it in her mouth. And she's pretty good about not fighting me real bad. She resists a little bit, which is very, very typical. Now, what I do not want to let her do, I do not want her to roll on her back. I want to make sure she stays in the upright position. Give. And as soon as she quits, mouthing and, wiggling, we use the command give to get the object out of her mouth. All right? And, meantime, we're doing lots of love, especially at the beginning of this process. We want the dog to be happy. All right? So, we got the dog, heel, sit, holding my hand. And then, of course, like we talked about, we want her to carry my hand. So I'm going to put it in here and walk. Good girl. Sit. Give. Good dog. The idea, of course, is we're starting to lay the foundation of pick up the object, walk, heel position, sit, and hand it to me. So we're trying to start to build that right away, using nothing more than just my bare hand. Now, obviously, we need her to actually have an object other than my hand. So today is truly the very first time she has seen this object. Now, this is what's usually called a force fetch stick. It is a canvas bumper end with a hard plastic middle. This is what I use. There's 1,000 objects that you can use that worked like this, but this one's real popular. The idea is that the middle has a nice firm place for them to grip. If they grab the end, it's weighted, so it feels weird. It's hard for them to hold the end. It's much easier for them to hold the middle. And then the idea is that it is up off the ground so that if it's laying on the ground, the dog can easily grab and pick it up. So it makes it simpler for them to actually grasp it off the ground. Obviously, we're gonna need her picking it up off the ground before long. So the force fetch stick, she has never seen this before, and we're going to use this stick for the whole process to get all of force fetch right. We will not move on until it's right with the stick. Then we'll go on to using bumpers, and we'll go on to using the dock, and we'll do force fetch with the bird. So we start and we're gonna get it right with the stick. Now, the good news is we've already started the foundation for what I want her to do, because we did this first with my hand. Heel, let's get you back. Sit. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna do exactly what I did with my hand, I'm gonna do with the stick. I'm gonna take the stick and I'm gonna put it in her mouth. Now again, this is totally the first time she's ever had this done. Almost certainly, she's going to resist mightily. All right, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put it in her mouth. With my left hand, I'm gonna be holding her collar. With my right hand, I'm going to be holding her mouth. So I'm gonna control her mouth physically with my hand to make sure that the bumper does not come out. That's the key. It cannot come out until I say that give word, okay? So, let's see how we do here. All right, I'm gonna put it in here. I'm gonna let her sniff it, let her check it out. Okay, she's kind of licking it, playing with it. Good girl, good. Okay, we can let her check it out. You know, we don't want it to be weird, or we certainly don't want her to be scared of it. All right, so she's kind of just checking it out. Of course, it's gonna smell like 100 other dogs. Okay, you gonna get it? Huh? Okay, that's good. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it in her mouth. Good. And I'm literally holding her mouth shut, and she's kind of like chewing and resisting here. That's just fine. I'm gonna just wait until she quits fighting me. Lots of dogs paw at it, totally normal. Give, good dog. So therefore, I mean, she only quit messing with it for like 3/4 of a second. She stopped. As soon as she stops jacking with it, we use the command to release to get that out of there. We want her to understand, you relax, it comes out, all right? That's gonna get more important as we go on. Let's try another rep. She's probably gonna resist more here because she knows what we're doing. And again, don't let them lay down. Do not want the dog on the ground. I'm actually, with my right hand, I have one finger under her jaw and my thumb is on top of her jaw. I'm physically keeping her mouth around the stick. And my left hand is, give, good dog. We kind of got a little help, a little red-winged blackbird flew over and she focused on that for a second instead of the bumper. So the stick came out. Again, we give praise, we give love because this is uncomfortable, this is awkward, this is weird for the dog, and we want them to feel comfortable. We don't want them to be afraid. We certainly don't want to lose our cool when we are doing this with the dog. You got to remember, this is totally new. They've never seen or even thought of this concept. So, first thing we need to do with the stick, hold it. Second thing we need to do, exactly like with my hand, I want her to carry it. So, even before she masters holding it, we're going to start walking, right? So I'm going to put it in her mouth, right here, hold it in, and walk. Sit. Good. Give. All right. And there, I should clarify that when I'm holding her mouth shut, I'm not squeezing down her mouth. I'm simply holding it so that she can't open, right? I want her to make it so that she can't drop it, but I don't want to apply pressure here yet, and I certainly don't want the pressure to be on her mouth, right? Let's try one more rep. Girl. Heel. Sit. Dog. Good. Sit. She's resisting walking there, which is totally normal. We'll drag their feet very commonly. Get quiet. Be good. Give the dog. All right, that's enough for that little example here. Obviously, we're going to repeat this about 1,000,000 times this week. Now, the whole important part of this process is we want to make sure that we are doing this and we are completing each step before we move on. All right? It is critical that we make sure that we build on each step successfully. Atta girl, come on, Pop. That's a good girl. God. Okay. All right, so this whole process does not have a set timetable. What it is we need to think of it like a flow chart, where we go from this step to this step to this step. We cannot think of force fetch like a timetable. Some dogs zoom through this super fast. Some dogs take their sweet time getting through it. It does not mean anything about who the dog is or how well they will turn out. It simply is just how well they go through this particular process. But it is vital we get this right, and it's vital that we keep, her in good spirits. Good girl, Venus. That's good. Huh? That's a good girl. Good. That's a good job. So, the bottom line is Venus is doing great. I still feel like we have a great relationship. She's happy, tail's wagging, which is good because once we get her carrying this reasonably well, then we're going to apply the actual force and force fetch. Really, everything you've seen here is basically just hold conditioning and obedience. But we'll get into a proper force fetch as we move along here. Bottom line is, Venus is doing just great.